The 2025 NHL Draft is highly anticipated and is scheduled to be held on June 27th and June 28th at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. The New York Islanders hold the first overall pick in the draft, followed by the San Jose Sharks, Chicago Blackhawks, Utah Mammoth, and Nashville Predators. This video delves into some of the top NHL draft prospects of 2025, in my opinion. It also includes a list of honorable mentions at the end of the video to highlight some of the prospects I left out. So, without further ado, let's jump into things. Number 5, Anton Frundell. Anton Frundell is a 6-foot, 196-pound centerman who plays for Djurgårdens IF in the Swedish Hockey League. Frundell put up 25 points with 11 goals in the SHL in the 2024-25 season. Frundell is ranked as ESPN's 6th overall prospect and Bob McKenzie's 5th overall prospect. He is also the number 1 prospect on NHL Central Scouting's final ranking of international skaters. According to the Hockey Writers, Frundell ranks as a 1 on the risk scale and 4 on the reward scale, with a 7.5 in offense and a 7.5 in defense. Corey Pronman says analysts are split on Frundell, with some ranking him as a top 3 selection, with others seeing him as being between 6 and 10. On his best nights, Frundell's production is comparable to what William Nylander and David Pastrnak posted at similar stages, which is why some scouts are so bullish on him. According to Pronman, despite strong performances in some tournaments, Frundell had forgettable performances in others. For example, during the U18 Five Nations tournaments in both November and February, he produced at times and at other times struggled. Pronman believes Frundell has the potential to be a very good second-line center on a team. Jordan Harris of Dauber Prospects says about Frundell, "There are very real NHL traits combined with an NHL frame and still plenty of upside, even if that's been scaled down since this time last year. Frundell can play a mature style game in both ends, boasts a strong shot, and plays with a physical edge." One Chicago Blackhawks fan comments, "Frundell is better than Eklund, but I lean Martone at 3 if we can't trade up and get Misa." A Flyers fan comments, "He's who I'm leaning towards. Center, elite shooting. Would look good with Michkov down the line." One fan comments, "Very interesting. Swedish, skillful two-way center, 6 feet, 196 pounds already. He might be better than his draft rankings predicted. If the Preds end up with the 4th or 5th pick, he might be a good gamble. Kinda feels Barkovy. I guess a lot of rankings do have him pretty high though. Not really a gamble at that point." Another fan writes, "He was predicted to go number 2 all of last year. He only dropped due to his injuries and fears that he may not have the developmental time he needed during his draft year." Number 4, Porter Martone. Porter Martone is a 6'3", 208-pound winger playing for the Brampton Steelheads in the OHL. This season, Martone scored 98 points with 37 goals and 61 assists in 57 games, ranking 2nd in OHL scoring. He is ranked 4th in most prospect rankings on Dauber Prospects. Mid-season rankings, Martone ranks 2nd, and on Logan Horn's December rankings, Martone ranks 1st. According to the Hockey Writers, Martone ranks as a 1.5 on the risk scale and 4.5 on the reward scale, with an 8 in offense and a 7 in defense. Martone is a player with excellent hands, puck control, and playmaking vision. He excels in tight spaces and is effective at 5-on-5, on the power play, and on the penalty kill. His leadership abilities are also evident as captain of the Brampton Steelheads. According to one fan who researched Martone, he has an excellent wrist shot, a great passing game, solid physicality, and is very shifty. However, according to the fan, Martone's agility as a skater is very poor. As the puck carrier, he is quite slow. He sometimes passes near the net when he shouldn't, and his defensive takeaway game isn't very good. One fan writes about Martone, "I can be talked into drafting Martone at 3, but I'd much rather have Misa, if available, or Frundell, realistically." Another fan writes, "Misa is the top forward for me, but after that, Martone would be my pick as well." not really concerned with his skating. Not a huge factor when you are already set up in the offensive zone, winning board battles, setting up shop in front of the net, etc. Look at some of the guys making the biggest impact in the playoffs. A lot of them are not known as top skaters. It's important to have speed and good skaters in your lineup, but it doesn't fill all the needs for your roster. Original Nintendo Ice Hockey taught us these lessons long ago. Number 3, James Hagans. James Hagans is a 5'10", 177-pound centerman playing for Boston College in the NCAA. This year, Hagans put up 37 points with 11 goals in 37 games for Boston College. James Hagans is ranked the number 3 North American skater in NHL Central Scouting's final prospect rankings. Dauber Prospects has him at first, and Bob McKenzie's rankings has him at second. According to the Hockey Writers, Hagans ranks as a 1 on the risk scale and 5 on the reward scale, with an 8.5 in offense and a 7.5 in defense. According to Tony Ferrari of the Hockey News, his understanding of how to manipulate defenders into making mistakes to open up passing lines is incredible at times. The slick passing and speed Hagans plays with should make any team happy on draft day. One fan writes, "Depends what your team needs. Hagans seems super similar to a Marner-type player at his ceiling, but probably won't stick at center in the show, so is probably more a wing. Misa has center size and will probably stick there in the show. Both are great offensive players. Misa plays a pretty responsible 200-foot game, but I haven't seen as much of Hagans, so IDK if I can say the same about him." So, do you want a high-end winger or high-end center? Most people go center, all things being equal, due to it being a more valuable position. That goes out the window, though, if you think Hagans can stick at center. Another fan writes, "Hagans is probably going after Martone. Doesn't feel like he's going to stick at C. A center desperate team could skip over Hagans and Martone for a guy like Desniers or Frondel. Unpredictable draft class. Schaefer might not go number 1. A guy like McQueen could go top 5 or fall out of the top 15, and I wouldn't be that surprised. All I know is that if I was drafting, I'd take Misa." Edit. Didn't even mention Jake O'Brien, who has risen up the draft board over the past few months. Could totally see him going way higher than anyone predicted. If someone's desperate for D, I could see Jackson Smith rising too. Feels like teams haven't been trading down that much anymore. Number 2, Matthew Schaefer. Matthew Schaefer is a 6'2", 183-pound left shot defenseman from the Erie Otters of the OHL. This year, Schaefer put up 7 goals and 22 points in 17 games for the Otters. Schaefer's season was cut short due to multiple injuries such as mononucleosis and a broken clavicle. Schaefer has started to become a favorite for the top pick for the 2025 NHL Draft. ESPN ranks him as their number 1 prospect, and he is first in many other rankings, including McKean's top 32 and Andrew Forbes' top 64 January rankings. Bob McKenzie's preseason rankings has Schaefer at number 2. According to the Hockey Writers, Schaefer ranks as a 1 on the risk scale and 5 on the reward scale, with an 8 in offense and a 7 in defense. Bob McKenzie says Schaefer is a marvelous skater who can move the puck up the ice quickly with his feet or his hands. His offensive instincts are top-notch. He can make plays. He can score goals. He's totally fearless. The broken collarbone happened while driving hard to the net, and he's constantly looking to be in attack mode. He can run a power play. He can walk the blue line and get shots through from the point. And even if he's caught deep in the offensive zone on offensive forays, he can swiftly race back into defensive position. Without the puck, he can defend physically or cerebrally. He has a great stick. His gap control is excellent. He's a premier penalty killer, and his game is suited to all situations in all zones. One fan writes, "Schaefer will go number 1, LOL." Another fan writes, "I feel like by the draft, Matthew Schaefer is going to be the projected number 1 guy." Another fan makes the argument for why the New York Islanders should choose Schaefer, writing, "Ask Colorado how they feel about Makar. Ask Montreal how they feel about Hudson. Vancouver with Hughes. You can go even further and look at guys like Hedman, Subban, Chara. Big difference makers and big impact players who drive play from the back end. It's rare to find that. When the Islanders were a great team and went to back-to-back ECFs, who was everyone talking about? Pelech. I'd argue it's more important to build a team around a franchise defenseman. Elite defenseman, especially an elite puck-moving defenseman like Schaefer, changes the entire team. The Isles' biggest struggle has been transitioning through the neutral zone, and Schaefer is a player who immediately makes you better at it. We have plenty of players who can score, and players like Schaefer and Dobson are the kinds of guys who can make them more effective by creating more chances. Number 1, Michael Misa. Michael Misa is a 6'1", 185-pound centerman for the Saginaw Spirit of the OHL. He put up an excellent year this season for the Saginaw Spirit, with 62 goals and 134 assists in 65 games. SMAT Scouting ranks him as their number 1 overall prospect, while Bob McKenzie and McKean rank him 3rd. According to the Hockey Writers, Misa ranks as a 1 on the risk scale and 5 on the reward scale, with a 9 in offense and an 8 in defense. Misa's strengths include shooting, passing, playmaking, puck control, hockey IQ, awareness, and skating. He has been described as a player who could be a future Selke Trophy candidate. He has been compared to players like Braden Point and John Tavares. Mike Kennedy says, Misa is a generational talent with game-breaking ability. He is an outstanding offensive force for Saginaw and is the type of player who makes everyone around him better. His high-end hockey IQ and vision allow him to process plays before they happen and stay a step ahead. He is a capable playmaker, able to thread passes through traffic with precision. So far this season, he has shown a strong ability to finish as well, scoring goals at a high rate. He has a quick, accurate release that finds the corners and cleanly beats goaltenders. Misa's puck skills are impressive to behold as he weaves through defenders and creates scoring chances. Craig Conroy says about Misa, great skating skill. I mean, he just understands the game and has a high hockey sense. You look out there and he's got just such a great skill set. He's the complete package. One Sharks fan says, Misa is the prospect I want most in this draft. I can just see him anchoring the best second line in hockey for the next decade plus. Our version of Crosby plus Malkin. Another fan writes, Misa is the consensus 2A pick now. It's important to remember that Misa played wing the 2 seasons prior to this one and was less involved than he was this year. The move back to center really cemented his place in this draft class. A final fan says, Misa is leading the OHL in scoring and actually backchecks at age 17. Hardly a project. He will be a number 1 center in the NHL. Matthew Schaefer has to be in this conversation as well. He is absolutely outstanding. Brady Martin may not be rated to go this high in the first round, but I would take him on my team all day long. Honorable mentions include Caleb Desnoyers, Jake O'Brien, Victor Eklund, and Radim Murtka. Caleb Desnoyers is a center for the Moncton Wildcats of the QMJHL, with 84 points consisting of 35 goals and 49 assists in 56 games. He is known for his two-way play, skating, and playmaking, and has been compared to Patrice Bergeron and Jonathan Toews. He's a top 10 prospect with potential as a first-line center. ESPN ranks Desnoyers as their number 5 prospect. Jake O'Brien is a center for the Brantford Bulldogs of the OHL, with 64 points in 61 games last season and 98 points this year. His playmaking and hockey IQ project him as a top 10 pick, with potential as a middle 6 center. ESPN ranks O'Brien 9th overall. Roger McQueen is a right-shot center currently playing for the Brandon Wheat Kings in the Western Hockey League. He had 20 points in 17 games for the Wheat Kings this season. ESPN ranks him 7th overall. Victor Eklund is a left wing for Djurgårdens IF of the SHL, noted for skating and skill, with comparisons to his brother William Eklund. Despite size concerns, his dynamic play suggests top 6 potential, ranked highly in European scouting. ESPN ranks Eklund 8th overall. So, who are your top 2025 NHL draft prospects? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed watching and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.